I want to go through some other things that deserve to be fact-checked before we move on. So let me just note that according to the fact-checking that was done by CNN, his 76-minute speech, and it was 76 minutes long, I watched the whole thing.
What?
Featured more than 15, I gotta do my work, right? Yeah. I gotta make sure I know what he said. Featured more than 15 false statements, many of them ones that he's repeated frequently in the past.
I mean, that seems low.
That does seem low.
I believe that there were more,
yeah.
But they did their best. So I'll give you a few that I think are notable. So for instance, he said, we've ended the last administration's cruel and heartless law on American energy. What they were doing to our energy should never be forgotten. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world. That's a lie.
Well, is he now crying for Chevron? Is that what that was? Like, what are they doing to Chevron? Poor Chevron and Shell and all these oil companies.
I mean, it's this like whole notion of being a patriotic American who's looking out for being for our oil companies and ensuring that we're the top oil exporter. That's really what this is. It taps into that, like in my opinion, faux patriotic BS.
Yeah.
And so obviously if you look at the facts though, the US was the world's #1 energy producer before Trump took office since 2012 under Obama. And I remember that vividly. I remember we were at Current TV, we covered that story, and I remember thinking, this is very bad. Obama is not bringing his best.
Yeah.
Right? Like
yeah,
that's not something
Obama bragged about it like a month ago.
Right.
And it was like, dude, maybe you shouldn't brag about that these days.
Yeah,
we're
definitely
all gonna
not.
burn in climate change hell.
He also said, Trump said during his speech, and we couldn't get the wall approved by the Democrats, even though they voted for it 4 years ago and 6 years ago. And so was it 4 years or 6 years ago? And didn't get built, but they voted for it. All of a sudden, Trump is president, we don't want a wall. Well, that's not necessarily true. So did Democrats vote in favor of a wall? No. Did some of them vote in favor of some fencing? Yes. So according to CNN, wall construction is not moving very rapidly, as Donald Trump said. As of May, 0 miles of wall had been erected in places where there had not been previously a barrier, right? Now, Trump argues that the new fencing installed to replace older fencing should be counted as his wall, though he campaigned on a new giant concrete wall.
He keeps changing that. Remember he called them for a minute, he was calling them metal slabs, and then he's
slants, yeah.
Slant, right? Is that what it was? Look, we're trying to do a remodel at my house, and it's taken 2 years.
I hear you.
So I don't know about this wall, He keeps talking about the wall. He's got no money for the wall. He's trying to find ways for the wall. It was Mexicans first, then it was, then it was, we're gonna put tariffs on them. Avocados were gonna be more expensive. I will take cheaper avocados and no wall any day of the week.
I remember some of the fear, yeah, agreed. I remember some of the fear mongering about Mexican immigrants coming into the country. And I don't remember if it was Trump specifically, but it was certainly a right winger. And he said something about there's gonna be taco trucks on every corner.
Yeah, sounds
and
great.
I'm like,
yeah, hello,
yeah.
LA.
Yeah,
well, he
and
also
we kind
said,
of already have that in LA, which is great.
Listen, as someone who's an Iranian American, when he was scaring people, he would say, there's a caravan coming, there's a caravan coming, like they're walking towards us at half a mile a day. And then he would be like, and there's some unknown Middle Easterners in the caravan. Remember that? Yeah, I was watching that, I go, that sounds like every party at my house. There's always some unknown Middle Easterners. What's the big deal? Right?
Totally.
Right?
Totally. All right, let me give you a few more. He also said our air and water are the cleanest they've ever been by far. And I just want you guys to check out Emma Vigeland's incredible reporting. So she did a report on Mountain Air, that is one of Trump's biggest campaign contributors, the 5th largest campaign contributor to Donald Trump. They're chicken producers. And they have completely contaminated the drinking water and the well water in Delaware.
Wow.
So no, we do not have the cleanest drinking water. In fact, he has essentially rolled back many of the regulations that keep our drinking water clean, that keep our air clean. And the American Lung Association found that in 2015 to 2017, more cities had high days of ozone and short-term particle pollution compared to 2014 to 2016. 141.1 million people lived in counties with unhealthful levels of either ozone and or particle pollution, an increase of more than 7.2 million Americans since the last annual report. 8 cities recorded their highest number of days with unhealthy spikes in particle pollution since the nation began monitoring this pollutant 20 years ago. So there were all sorts of lies. Obviously, we can't get to every single one of them, because that would take up the entire show today, tomorrow, and the next day. But he's a liar, and it's incredible how he's gotten this far with completely lying to his voters, to the American public, and they feel it. I mean, we're all living in the same society. We see the ramifications, but he's somehow Teflon Don when it comes to some of these voters.
Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.